Greetings and welcome to Stellaris, and the Union of Wizards, which is, at long last, starting to expand into the galaxy, having settled not only their first colony world, but also established their first frontier outpost. And our borders are now pressing up against the only other intelligent life that we have discovered, the Bothrian Star Council, whose absolutely outrageous border expansion has cut off Owen the Answer and the Deep Sight from their Spinward scientific survey mission, forcing them to turn back to friendly space. Of course, our own completely justifiable border expansion has been going well as well. We have established our first frontier outpost in the Thuban system, which means that we can make use of our constructors to begin exploiting the many resources that are in this strategically important system, including the awesome research output of Thuban 5. Yes, indeed. Build a research outpost there. Our energy credits are starting to drop quite a lot. That is because we have an active colonization underway, which is draining credits from us until they are able to fully establish their colony and begin generating energy credits for the Empire. So what we need is more energy credit mines where we can. And look, Siplum has actually fallen within our borders now. Let's move the Artemis to the Siplum system and begin construction of mining outposts. We actually have 3 separate locations here able to generate 2 credits each. We'll go for a mining station around all 3. We've got plenty of minerals. Well, I say we've got plenty of minerals. I've actually just spent all of our available minerals. In fact, I've just deselected the mission. I'm sorry, Artemis, I'm getting confused here. Re-establish those orders to build the mining stations. Energy credits are of paramount importance right now. Wilberforce, Weird, our grand and beneficent leader, does like to have a lot of energy credits in his private stash. I mean, we've got plenty in the bank right now, but just in case.
Updated.
The old gods approaching the precipient. The WSS Artemis has entered the Siplum system, and its crew report that a stellar object not unlike the Shrine of the Untold is indeed orbiting this star. I see. Excellent. This must be the last of the shrines, and, rather handily enough, Owen the Answer, who is of course an expert on these shrines, having researched the previous ones, is back in Wizardian space after his abortive attempt to travel Spinward, which was of course turned back by the filthy Bothrian Star Council's thievery of free and open space and refusal to allow our brave scientific voyagers to travel. Speaking of the Bothrian Star Council, they have declared a rivalry with an unidentified empire. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on these stellar politics. That means, of course, that there is an unidentified spacefaring civilization out there who we have yet to contact. Presumably they are on the other side of the Bothrian Star Council. Interesting. We will definitely have to keep an eye on this. The Bothrians do not like us at all. Look at that. They absolutely hate us, in fact. But that's fine, because frankly, we hate them as well, and their space-stealing ways. Shall we try and offset that by establishing an embassy with them? We could establish an embassy. It will increase our relations by 1 every month to a maximum of plus 100. We can maintain a total of 3 embassies in total. Perhaps it is not too late. We shall see. Well, we've established an embassy with them. At the very least, it will stave them off until we are more well prepared to deal with them. Excellent.
Special project complete.
Old Gods, Shrine to the Precipient. Science Officer Owen the Answer has reported back with the WSS Deep Vision's findings at the Precipient's Shrine. They recognized early on that a text in some logographic script is inlaid in the walls, heavily distorted by the layers of translucent lacquer. Initial attempts at unscrambling the text, relying on the raw processing power of the WSS Deep Vision's computers to reconstruct the text from plain images, proved fruitless, as it was simply too distorted to place in any known lingual family tree. Next, the crew of the WSS Deep Vision attempted bombarding the lacquer with light of varying wavelengths and intensity, but no beneficial reactions were observed. Owen the Answer apparently considered physically separating the lacquer from the inlaid text, but realized that the strange glyphs would doubtlessly have been made misshapen to begin with, only to assume their proper shape when viewed correctly through the lens of the lacquer. Science Officer Owen the Answer was about to call the mission a failure when, looking up as they irritably paced along the edges of the circular space, they realized the discrete lines of cohesive text were momentarily forming before their eyes, melting away only to be replaced by new lines. Not long after, they had the ceiling, walls, and floor imaged in a spiral pattern. Texts from other shrines should help us place it all together. Fascinating. The old gods' revelation. The complete doctrine of the gods. For that is what the recovered texts have to be regarded as, dwarfing the fairy tale scraps upon which the old Wizardian religions were founded, is as shockingly revelatory as it is revolutionary. With only a little bit of creative interpretation, it is clear that the people of Wizard Prime were meant for great things, guided by the strong hand of a religious leader. Our path is one to godhood, but our past is littered with prophecies, unfulfilled and sin-born of ignorance. Redemption is ephemeral. Wow. Suppress the findings. Knowledge is power. Secret knowledge is secret power. Ends the Shrine of the Old Gods event chain. Influence gain of plus 80. Monetize the findings. Some of the wealthier faith corporations have caught with wind. 5, we don't really need the money at the moment. But what can we learn from this? Regardless of the veracity or validity of the sacred texts, the fact remains that we share religious concepts with some older, unknown spacefaring race. Society research gained 198. We walk in the footsteps of the divine. Start a religious renaissance. Your native population gains the fanatic spiritualist and collectivist ethics. Wow, do we want to become fanatic spiritualists and collectivists? Would that not overwrite the fact that we are something else? Look, these Bothrians are fanatic spiritualists and collectivists. Do we really want to be like the Bothrians? I think, as speaking for a moment, as Wilberforce Weird, the Grand Master Wizard of the Union of Wizards, knowledge is most definitely power, and secret knowledge is secret power. We shall gain that secret knowledge and claim the influence that it shall grant us. Suppress the findings. Fascinating though they are, I mean, you know, if we're going to become gods, then really it has to be Wilberforce Weird who becomes a god and not all of the Wizardian people. That would just be weird. Good, excellent, wow, what a chain of events, what a chain of mysteries for us to research and uncover. Will that be the end of it now? Or will there be yet more discoveries in the future? Owen, the Answer, does not have the answer right now. Instead, he has only more questions. What's he going to do with those questions? Frankly, I'm not entirely sure. Although both he and his crew now have very dangerous knowledge to Wilberforce Weird and the rulers of the Wizardian Empire, so perhaps we should send them out on a nice deep space survey mission. As they can't go spinward, we will send them anti-spinward. The Sentinel under the command of Ron is of course already out here, surveying this, that and the other, so we'll continue to have him survey as he goes. I'm quite pleased that we haven't encountered any other star empires out here. It gives us plenty of room to expand, although there are various hostile entities that we will ultimately have to deal with, or at least learn to live with, perhaps. The spiral arm goes on quite a long way though, so there is still much to explore and discover out there. Meanwhile, in the Thuban system, the Senator has completed construction of the research outposts at Thuban 5. We're now extracting everything except for the minerals there. What's this? A rivalry! An unidentified empire has declared the Bothrian Star Council as their rival. Excellent! Well, the more people who are the rivals of the Bothrian Star Council, the better. Perhaps the enemy of mine enemy shall become my friend. I was hoping I would be able to mine here in the Trabano system now, but it seems it falls just outside the Space Empire borders. The colony on Acrisia has been established in full. Let's take a look at the surface and figure out what we need to do. New contact! We have recovered a communique from a previously unknown spacefaring empire that call themselves the Ziran Confederacy. They claim to have learned of our existence by listening in on the communications of another empire we are in contact with. Fascinating. First contact with the Ziran Confederacy. Strange beings once again.
Well met, friends. We are the Ziran Confederacy, a nation built on the principles of peaceful coexistence and individual freedoms. Prime Minister Coxorum, the current head of our government, has expressed a sincere hope for a lasting friendship between our two peoples.
Cooperation will surely benefit. Are you the rivals of the Bothrians? Because frankly, if you are, we'll probably get on like a house on fire. Cooperation will surely benefit us all. Ziran Confederates. Can we take a look at them in our contacts list? Contacts. The Ziran Confederacy. We're at -20 with us. Their opinion. -20 due to new contact. Xenophile diplomacy +10. Materialist fools -10. Well, we certainly get on a lot better with them than we do with the Bothrian Star Council, who frankly can't stand us. Should we establish... Look, let's send our diplomats and we'll establish an embassy with them. This will increase our relations by +1 every month. Confirm. We have now an embassy with the Ziarian Confederacy. Excellent. Where are you, Ziarian Confederacy? Let's take a look at the map. The Ziarian Confederacy. Look at that. They are over here, spinward on the other side of the Bothrians, who are like sandwiched between the two of us, creating this slightly odd sort of egg timer type, I suppose, space region that they're going to occupy. I can imagine there will be difficulties here with the Bothrians. I can imagine they will want to expand either towards us or towards them. Given that they have marked the Ziarians as their... The Ziaras? The Ziarians? Yes, the Ziarans Confederacy as their rivals. Hopefully that means they will ultimately go to war, and we can just mop up afterwards. The Senator has finished construction around Thuban 5. Oh, Thuban 5, where the old ship was discovered. The living ship. The ruins of it remains that formed a mountain range. Fascinating stuff, and now providing lots of research for us. Lots of useful research and things. We've got more energy credits. Look, you know what? We're going to start building another colony ship because we can totally do that. We've got plenty of spare resources at the moment. So we'll build another colony ship and we'll continue to expand our space empire, which is now beginning to actually resemble something a bit like an empire. We can expand to Pleione and to Jundias.
Research complete.
And where was it out here? Mithra. This was where that civilization was found, wasn't it? The question is, where, if we check our contacts list, where is this? The Quipulsi civilization. Can I search it out? Go to. There we go. It's in the Ebermachius system.
Research
Ebermachius, all the way out here. Wow, that's quite a long way out. What about the Igarians in the Mithra system? So both of those are actually quite far out. It'll take us a while to expand that far, but we will eventually get there, hopefully.
Anomaly found.
Anomaly at Ingor 4. The atmospheric patterns of Ingor 4 are highly atypical for a gas giant of modest size. Alright then, Ron, you begin researching that and see if you can discover anything new and wonderful there for our scientific discoveries and things. We've actually got scientific research that we need to do as well. Good. Whenever we finish researching a technology, up to 3 new options will be generated. Yeah, I know. Let's just pause it whilst we pick our options. Dense jungle removal, toxic kelp removal. Do we need this for any of our surfaces? Toxic kelp and dense jungle. We actually need both. Dense jungle. So those are actually quite good options right now. Should we go for dense jungle removal? Yeah. Go for dense jungle removal. Buyers of signs. What can you research? We can still research nanocomposite armor, missile defense modules, and nuclear missiles. Engineering facilities. Engineering facilities are specialized institutions generating additional engineering research. The Bothrian power plant reveals Bothrian stone, strategic resource. These rare stones have been deposited on many worlds through meteor strikes. They burn very slowly and are very efficient energy sources. There are many different strategic resources, usually uncovered by researching technology. There are many used to construct very powerful buildings and spaceport modules. The benefits they yield tend to be so significant that empires go to war simply to acquire a key strategic resource, if they cannot trade for it peacefully. Go for it. Strategic resources definitely is something that we want. We are doing fine actually for energy credits and stuff now, so let's just keep building. Mining station. Let's take a look at Akrissa. Lots of food and a few things. We could do some building here when we've got a bit of credits. We'll also take a look at Wizard Prime because we haven't looked at the surface of Wizard Prime for quite a long time. We should definitely in fact clear some of this. Industrial wasteland. Clear the sprawling slums. We must clear them of all of their... In fact, you know what? Let's just queue up a few of these so that it doesn't catch us again in the near future. Deceptive giant. What we had assumed was an abnormally small gas giant is, in fact, not. Beneath a deceptive cover of thick dust swirling in the upper atmosphere lies a regular planet. A barren planet, but a planet nonetheless. This has proven quite embarrassing to the astronomical community on Wizard Prime. Remarkable! Where was that? At Ingori. Look, it's just a barren world. It's not a gas giant at all.
System survey complete.
The Deep Vision has completed the survey of Yotola.
Survey complete.
It seems Owen the Answer has no more tasks in his queue,
Construction complete.
and so we must order him even further out in the anti-spinward direction. The order has come down from on high. Send him out.
Complete.
Send him far out until we are able to decide what to do with the knowledge that he was able to discern from those mysterious shrines. Survey completed. Through our surveys of habitable worlds, our biologists have collected a vast amount of data on alien life forms. Many of our older theories on the development of life have been disproved, and our scientific community has had to build new models from scratch. Our most interesting findings are being displayed at the newly dedicated Museum of Exobiology on Wizard Prime. The public is enthralled, and many donations have come to aid in the continuing search for strange life forms. Excellent! The Midari civilization encountered. We have detected the presence of an alien civilization on Queenie Siparis. They appear to be in the early space age, as evidenced by the many primitive satellites orbiting their homeworld. Their nation-states are on the path toward joining together in a global government, and it is likely only a matter of time before they venture beyond their world and join the galactic community. We should consider building an observation post above their world to study them more closely. I'm sure we will eventually when we expand our borders all that way. We're going to start saving up our energy credits here because I want to build another colony ship. We already built a colony ship. What am I talking about? Quick,
Science
slow
ship
down.
under attack.
Science ship under attack. Science ship under attack. What's going on? What's happening? We're being attacked. We're being attacked by alien space whale creatures. Go faster. Owen, you have to escape. No, is this the end for Owen? Far from home, in the reaches of space. Retreat, Owen. Retreat. Jump to warp. Oh, scientist Owen the Answer died when the WSS Deep Vision was destroyed. He was unable to jump to warp in time. And the strange space whale creatures crushed his ship into oblivion. The last packets of data, winging their way through subspace, tell of the valiant last attempts of her captain to save the crew. But it was to no avail.
System survey complete.
You shall be missed, Owen the Answer, and the Deep Vision will go down in history as one of the greatest starships in the Wizardian annals. Wow, we've lost a ship, our first loss out in the black. The Wizardian people will mourn Owen the Answer and the Deep Vision, but they shall not forget him. Ron, you are our last science ship now. In the Vokon system, perhaps we should bring you home. No, of course not. We will not abandon our quest to expand into the galaxy, but we will learn from this tragedy. Look, we should probably set our fleet stance back to evasive. Indeed, a suspicious person might ask why our exploration vessels had their fleet stance set to passive at all, especially when they were carrying such sensitive information. But of course, there are no suspicious people in the Wizardian Empire. At least not openly so, anyway. Meanwhile, back in the heart of the Empire, the WSS Provider, our latest colony ship, has been completed and is ready to carry Wizardian kind to a new world. But that, of course, will have to wait for next time, because once again, we have run out of time this time. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I have been Weird Wizard, and I will see you later.